In human sexuality, kink refers to non-normative sexual practices, concepts, or fantasies. It's a term used to describe sexual behaviors that deviate from what is commonly considered conventional or vanilla. These can include a range of activities and interests, from playful to those involving dominance and submission, or specific fetishes. Kink encompasses sexual behaviors that are not part of the mainstream or commonly accepted sexual norms. What one person considers a kink can be different from another's. It's a personal and subjective experience. Kink can be related to fetishism, where an object or part of the body becomes a primary source of sexual arousal. A latex kink, also known as rubber or latex fetishism, refers to the sexual attraction to latex clothing or the material itself. This can manifest as a preference for wearing latex garments, being aroused by seeing others in latex, or incorporating latex into sexual activities. The tactile sensation of latex, its shiny appearance, and its ability to create a second skin effect are often cited as reasons for this attraction.
Let's talk about the game that led me into this rabbit hole. Contagious Containment, a Roblox game made by Alika0946. A few years back, I remember playing this game. It resembled an SCP-style facility where you began as a human trying to survive against an infection spreading through the building. However, the infected were not zombies. They were anthropomorphic transfer creatures. If they caught you, you'd become one of them. So your only course of action as a survivor was to find anything you could to defend yourself with. It was fun. The servers were full, and the map was massive. But that wasn't something bad because you'd always run into someone. So that leads to a big question. Why is it so empty now? So this is where my journey begins. As I leave its boundaries, I'm immediately met with puddles, remnants of what once used to be dangerous. Back then, stepping into one of these could mean infection. Now, they're just there. Echoes of a threat that no longer exists. I push forward and eventually reach the pool area. It used to be chaotic in here, completely overrun by the infection, but now it's just still, too still. As I continue walking through these halls, a feeling sets in. It's not fear, it's loneliness. This place used to be full of life. Survivors, monsters, chaos. But now, it's just me. Me and the sound of my footsteps. And then, this is where my journey ends. A cliff. A dead end. There is no escape and no resolution. Just a silent reminder of what this game once was. The answer isn't super clear, but from what I could dig up, on March 2nd, 2023, the game was made private. I actually remember reading in the game's description that Alika decided to cancel it because they weren't aware of the kind of community they were getting involved with. At the time, I didn't understand what that meant. Eventually, I came across a reupload of the game and decided to give it another shot. That's when I found Emerald's videos on the changed and transfer community. I recommend watching those videos. They break down a lot of what's wrong with how this genre operates on a platform like Roblox. Replaying the game felt really strange. The once chaotic and fast-paced experience was now silent. There was no infected, no other players, just me. All that tension and anxiety about being hunted was gone. Now the only thing to worry about was stepping into puddles. From what I can tell, Alika may have lost motivation to keep working on the game once they realize the community surrounding this genre. And honestly, I can see why some people will view this kind of game as having kink undertones. I have to say, liking this type of content doesn't make you a bad person, but Change, the game that inspired much of the transfer community, really blurs the line. Change is a game that came out in 2018. It's a puzzle action game. You play as a character named Colin, who is trying to escape a lab full of latex creatures who will transform you if they catch you. And these transformations, they are loaded with suggestive content. Colin's age is never clearly stated, and the developer once said that it doesn't matter if he's a minor or not, which is really disturbing, especially because some in-game scenes involve touching private areas or visual groping. Despite all of this, the game was rated 14+ at one point. When criticized, the creator said that minors playing the game wouldn't imitate what they see, but that is not the point. The issue with mixing minors with sexualized content is exactly that. You are mixing minors with a sexualized content, and a sexualized content often attracts adults. So that is not something good. That's a dangerous fucking combination. Now, this is where the Roblox connection becomes a real problem. Roblox is a game which target audience is mainly kids, but its player base age is broad, so there are a lot of ages and people that play it. That leads to a massive gray area in which kink-coded content, even unintentionally, can coexist with underage players. This has led to really horrible situations in the community, like predators in the games, sketchy condo games, and inappropriate interactions, all of which go far beyond the transfer fandom, but they are definitely present within it. So, what can we take from all of this? I think my initial assumption was correct. Alika made Contagious Containment at the peak of the transfer trend, not fully understanding what they were stepping into, but once they realized the implications, they shut it down entirely. And honestly, that was the right call. Back when I played it, I had no idea what the transfer really meant or what kind of culture it came from, and I'm sure most of the player base didn't either. That's why I think Alika's decision should be viewed as a lesson, not just for players but for creators as well. Sometimes you might want to join or create something without understanding the context it carries, but once you do, it's okay to walk away. Thanks for watching this video. It was really hard to put all together since there's barely any reliable information out there, and most of it is either biased or scattered. I put a lot of effort into editing and writing everything by myself, so if you liked the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing. It really helps a lot. Again, don't harass anyone. This video is about understanding, not attacking.